You know when you were a kid and you'd fake sick to stay home from school? It's pretty fun for a day, but not being able to leave your house or see your friends gets boring pretty quick, and even makes you want to go back to school. Well, this is kind of the situation the entire world is in right now. As far as for myself, I like it. I get to stay home, work, watch YouTube videos, and feel like I'm doing my part for the world. You know, I think of our grandparents who were forced to go to war to fight for their country. And here we are, our obligation is to stay inside and watch Netflix. It's not so bad. Now for this battle, it is different where the individuals on the front line are all of the healthcare workers, nurses, doctors, people who work at grocery stores. And I commend all of them for their service. Most days I don't even leave my apartment at all, but luckily my place is close to the East River where I can get some space and still get some fresh air.
So when you're out on the streets of the city, you could definitely tell that there are less people, and if I had just arrived to New York City and had no idea about this coronavirus, I could easily tell that something was up and that there's this weird tension, no one's getting close to each other, and it's a lot quieter than it normally is. But being over here at the pier, I think because everyone's off from work, but when I usually go for runs at midday on a Thursday, there's not many other people here. But now that everyone's off from work and kids don't have to go to school, it's pretty packed. But people are still social distancing, 6 feet.
New York City really is right now a fraction of the energy that it typically is. A couple nights ago, I biked over to Times Square, and for the first time in my life, I got to see it so peaceful and serene.
So we just made it here to Times Square, which is the busiest part of New York City, and as you can see behind me, there's no one else here. A sight that you'll probably never see in your lifetime. Times Square completely empty. Oh, we gotta wait, there's actually someone walking by, we can't leave that in. No one's here. No, there really is no one else here besides us and that guy who just ran by. You know, I actually rented this out, Gabe. I know you wanted to film some shots here, so, you know.
Oh, just for me?
Rented this out. It was a little pricey, but that's what friends are for.
What a guy.
All right, let's get these shots. Paying the big bucks for it.
When I did shoot that stuff, it was before New York City was the epicenter of this crisis and before it was so perilous to go outside. But now I am trying to limit as much as possible the amount of time I spend outside, going to grocery stores and spending as much time as possible here in my little apartment. And as of day 20-something now, I'm totally okay with this quarantine, and I feel like this is the most focused I have ever been with no FOMO. Everyone else is staying in their apartment, so I can stay in, catch up on all of the work I needed to do. I even made a list of all the things I want to get done during this quarantine. Even made a list of some books that I wanted to read and reread. The Alchemist, great book. This book changed my life. Speaking of staying inside, we definitely don't have it nearly as bad as Anne Frank, great book. And then this is another book, The Idea Book. It's 150 pages where you read and you get ideas, and then 150 pages of blank pages where you can write in the book. Playing some guitar. And how could I forget? Making some TikToks. We've even turned my apartment into a mini gym.
Nobody in this apartment is getting the quarantine 15. We got the whole apartment working out. We got Gabe turning this medium rare into well done. All these muscles.
I'm turning burgers into biceps, baby.
But most importantly, I've now been able to finish up on a secret project.
Hello?
Hello, my name is Chow, General Chow.
from Chinatown, and I reside with my master, Mr. Brett.
So it honestly hasn't been too bad. Plus, I've now been able to use all this downtime to take at least one class of Skillshare every single day.
But Mr. Brett, what is the Skillshare?
What, have you never watched one of my videos before? Ciao, Skillshare is only the best place to take your creative skills to the next level.
And what are these classes on?
Photography, videography, entrepreneurship, pretty much anything creative, they have a colossal amount of classes on.
And what have you been learning, Mr. Brett?
Well, like I said, I have been trying to expand my knowledge in After Effects as well as dabbling with Logic to make music, which I'd highly recommend Young Guru's class, who is a guru in audio engineering. Skillshare is honestly phenomenal, and ciao, you're just gonna have to try it out for yourself.
This sounds marvelous, Mr. Brett. I need to try this.
Well, you're in luck, ciao, since you and the first 1,000 of my subscribers are getting 2 months for free to Skillshare Premium. All you have to do is just click the link down below. I did want to end this video by saying that it is such a beautiful thing seeing the entire planet come together and fight the same battle on the same side. And we need this unity and community more than ever, with millions of Americans and people around the world losing their jobs and all of these other small businesses that are potentially going to go under. So this is now the most critical time to support those small businesses. So my favorite pizza shop ever in New York City, Village Square Pizza, which is owned by my buddy Joe and his brother Mario, they just hooked me up with this delicious pie of pizza. So we got the roommates, we got Gabe and Chris. And we got some Coronas. This is hopefully the only type of Corona that we'll be getting in this apartment, though.
Exactly.
And it is also amazing to see all of the healthcare workers, including my sister Kristen and my roommate Sam, who are nurses that are risking their well-being to make sure that these individuals get cured.
The hospitals have been insane. I don't even think people could understand how crazy it is right now.
In some, there are just not enough nurses to take care of the overflow of patients that we have right now.
They're pulling people from left and right and trying to push the limits of what they're able to do.
I have a lot of anxiety. I'm worried about not having enough masks, not having enough equipment, how many patients am I gonna have to take care of that day.
The Baker Field at Columbia and turned it into a makeshift hospital to try to make extra beds.
I do feel anxious. I just want this to be over. I'm tired of seeing people die, to be honest. I'm tired of seeing people get sick, young and old. And yeah, I'm obviously nervous about my own health.
It's worse than anybody thinks.
And I did want to show my appreciation, and I just released a bunch of new Fortune merchandise as well as restocked on some other items. So if you make a purchase and use discount code NURSE20, then you'll get 20% off, and all of those proceeds from your order will go to helping the nurses and also to feeding America. I will follow up with everything on my Instagram right here if you're curious. All right, so that's gonna be it for this first quarantine video, and I am going to try and make as many videos as possible as I can while being trapped in my New York City apartment. And in one of my coming videos, I'll probably do a Q&A, so if you wanna leave a question down below on anything, I'll be sure to answer it. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next week.